Nailed the time too. Hey, just you guys can relax. Hey, you see me coming up with these? Whoa, we're taking heads off. Keep your head on a swivel. Just so you guys all know, we're not raffling these off, okay? And my wife would have my butt if you guys got to realize. And I'm not supposed to show anybody these till tomorrow. So you guys can see. So if you guys take video of this afterwards, I'll leave it up here. Don't post it. And if you do post it, don't say it was from me. You guys want to see something beautiful? Watch this. Ooh. Oh, I don't want to show you this. Ooh. That's hot. Look at how hot that is. What? I got to show you more. I'm over here I'm spilling the beans are everywhere. Where'd those beans come from? Timmer spilled them. And then we got this one. Okay. I didn't even know this. I just found this out. It comes with 2 refills? What? Dirty hands are a thing of the past, baby. What? What? Ooh. Okay. Hey, these are not coming. These are just LTOs. Look at how sexy this is. 3? Ooh. Your mom can get one for her. Everybody's thinking, my mom? Screw my mom. I'm getting this for me. I'm just kidding. No, you can have one for your car. You can have one for your office. What? One for the bathroom? Like, you got to keep. I don't even know. I'm going to buy so much of this stuff. You guys, I can't wait. You'll see a big post like in a week when all the products come. I'm buying boxes of stuff. So we will be giving these out. Okay, just not these ones. These are okay. So I'll bring some whenever I get my big shipment in. But we're probably gonna buy about 5,000 worth of this stuff, man. I can't wait to have it. So Chris did an amazing job. We've got fun, and then obviously you guys know the starter sets. I'm just gonna tell you guys about the starter sets. The travel points is very important to note. Goes to the sponsor. You guys with me on that? So if I sponsor somebody, I have a vested interest to do what? Help them pick up a what? A bigger starter set so I can get what? Travel points. Okay, so now I'm going to open up my jacket. What does that mean? Okay, we're going to learn today because I'm going to teach you guys how to read body language. Oh my God. So just so you know that. And then obviously we don't need to talk about before and after. It's like you just got to look in the mirror. You already know you're looking good. So this is big, you guys. Just so you all know, hey, this is happening. Okay. Prices go up April 30th. May 1st. So April 30th is last day to get in on the early bird registration. Make sure you lead by example, get registered for that. My favorite time. My favorite subject. Actually, my second favorite subject. Bye. Okay. Woo! I'm breaking stuff. Tally's going to put me up. She's going to write me up. I told everybody how much I love Tally. You were just getting all of the compliments today. So we're going to be talking about recruiting. Okay? Recruiting. This happens to be something I'm very good at teaching. Okay? Because I love doing it. Okay? So let's get into it. Who is this ugly guy? Selling beauty products. So fun. So here we go. So for your notes, okay, if this is your first time being at Riman University, let me explain to you guys how it works. Once you complete all 12 of the modules, then you graduate from the university. If you do it one time, you obviously, you graduate from you do it twice, guess what happens? You're gonna get your MBA. Is it MBA first or PhDs last? PhD, then you get your PhD. There's 3. You run through it 3 times, you're making too much money. But by the 4th time, you got to be doing it. So what happens is, you do it 4, you're up here doing it. This form right here has got missing pieces to it. There's missing words with little underlined situations. On the PowerPoint, there's going to be words that are bold that are underlined. All you got to do is put them on there. Do you guys see that? Not hard to do. Okay? Easy to do, but guess what? Easy also not to do. Right? So make sure you guys follow along. Get this information. Mainly recruiting is something that's super fun. And afterwards, in the back, you'll get a credit for being here. You'll get a punch. I don't know what they're doing today, but it's going to be an exclusive punch to your punch card. that's going to get you dialed in. So make sure you get credit for being here tonight. Tally, is my mic messing up? If it sounds bad, just throw something at me. I didn't know that was that one. Okay, sometimes that stuff works. You guys ever drop something, see if it works? Okay, so here it is. Now I'm going to talk about, first off, get all the tools for success. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about getting the tools for success. And the reason being is because when you have the tools for success and you're using the tools for success, what happens? You're going to be a much better recruiter because you're going to be all in. Do you guys see that? If you've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, a lot of people aren't going to be attracted to you. A lot of this business, a lot of recruiting has to do with your confidence and your belief system in yourself, and that comes from being all in. You know when you're doing your absolute very best, and you know when you're not. Is it going bad, Tally?
It's going bad.
Okay. Here we go. This one was dropped, so it should be working fine now. So get all the tools for success, okay? Success is the word you're looking for right there in your handout. So let's go ahead and go through this, okay? Number one is obvious. I don't think anybody disagree with this, right? Your Riman products, right? Everybody knows your Riman products, right? Obviously, you're looking for the word products. You're looking for the word product 3 times and star the third time, the fourth word, okay? Get your Riman products, right? Your Riman products. Make sure you have at least one of every product. Be a product of the product. Make the product a superstar. You always want to make the product a superstar. Okay, I think tonight I'm going to be raffling off some hair care, right? Let's talk about it, right? You got to have that hair care. You guys see what I'm saying? Okay, I mean, I use the hair care relentless. I'm so fired up. I use so much Riman product. It's ridiculous. You guys know that? Because I'm talking about it all the time. My son, who was homeschooled, my little 10-year-old, he's like, anywhere he goes, he's like, you got to try the Riman products. You know what I mean? He's so jacked because he hears me talking about it all the time. So make sure you've got one of all the products, obviously at least one of them, so you can show it to people. Number 2, for your notes, keep a journal, right? I love this one. Okay, don't trust your memory. Okay, when you listen to something valuable, write it down. Be a buyer of empty books. One of the things you want to leave behind, Jim Rohn says, is what, right? Your pictures. Pictures worth 1,000 words, right? But you also want to leave behind your journals. I've got journals on top of journals on top of journals. So when I jump on a call, Thursday, on Wednesday, we obviously had the leadership call with Danny Bay, okay, right? For team leaders and above, you're on there, obviously documenting stuff in your journal, okay? If you're writing it on like the back of a napkin, you might lose it, right? On the back of a receipt, I'm taking notes. No, it's like, if you get a journal, this is the one that Jim Rohn, I don't think he sells this one anymore, but there was a limited 500 of them. They were autographed, 1 out of 500. So I was lucky enough to get one of those from Jim. But this is be a buyer of empty books, right? Somebody says, you spent $25 on an empty book? Well, I'm gonna find something good to write in there. Right, okay, so number 3 is what? Your first year network marketing book. I'm going to be raffling off 4 or 3 of those tonight. 4 of those tonight too as well. So get your raffle tickets ready. But if you see that QR code, you can scan that. If you got your phone with you, or take a picture of it and scan it later, that'll give you access to the audio book. We can thank Travis for that. Everybody help me out and say, thank you, Travis. Woo, yeah, he's like, I'll download the audios for you. I was like, oh, how do you do this smart stuff? That's actually the audio book, okay? I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. That's why I threw Travis under the bus. I'm just playing. Mark's not around. He ain't going to trip. Mark is not around anymore, man. Bless his heart. I got a chance to see him in 1997 at a speaking event in San Diego, man. I was like, whoa, I can't believe I'm listening to him. But that book is unbelievable, right? The most important book to read to set yourself up for massive success. For your notes, readers are leaders, right? So you can scan that QR code and get the audio of that, okay? Next one is what? Turn your car into a mobile classroom. Chris talked a little bit about it. Drive Time University, okay? Give me time for a little promotion here. Danny Bay, when I met him for the first time, actually when I started working with Danny for the first time, I said, what do you listen to in your car? He's like, I don't know. I said, here. I gave him this audio. Said, don't stop listening to this audio until you're making 20 grand a month. He came to me, and I did a training for his organization. He brought his team out to see me in Irvine, and he's like, let me take you to dinner, or let me take you to lunch afterwards, right? So then we go to lunch. I jump in his car, and sure enough, this is still on. I go, Danny, you're making about $60,000 a month. Why are you still listening to this stuff? I told you 20 grand. He goes, man, once I got to 20 grand, I didn't want to change nothing. Right, I know that book. It's funny because my son-in-law is really into it, and he's into personal growth and development. And he'll be listening to something, and he's over the house. He'll have it on, playing. and I'll just start busting it out. You know what I mean? Because to me, it's like personal growth and development. It's like, you guys ever listen to a song, right? There's certain songs, like we could put some Tupac on right now and I could just start going. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I could just go. You could just start it and stop it and I'll just keep rapping, okay? It's not going to be any good. Chris is the good rapper. You guys know that. Chris is the good rapper. That's what he does, right? So, but anyways, I just know it all inside and out, right? It's the same thing with Jim Rohn. It's the same thing with Les Brown. It's the same thing with Anthony Robbins. It's the same thing with so many personal growth and development. I just keep listening to something over and over and over again until guess what? So I know it. I just know it. And you can play it. It is a challenge to succeed. If we're not, I'm sure more people be successful. But every person that's enjoying the fruit from the tree of success, 1,000 are examining the roofs. They're mystified, perplexed on what seems to be some strange and complex and elusive secret must be found if ever success is to be enjoyed. Like it's all programmed in there. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I could do the whole challenge to succeed thing, right? I mean, it's like I know this, but it's because I listen to it over and over and over and over and over again, right? So I'll give you an example. The average driver spends 300 hours yearly in their car, which can be used to achieve the equivalent to 2 semesters of an advanced degree in personal development, right? Start with building your network marketing business and business of the 21st century. There's the audio downloads there. So if you guys want to download the audios, because I gave you guys the CDs, some of you are like, what is this? What are these things? You got a little, what is this, a little coaster for my drinks? I asked my daughter, I go, how many people do you think still have CD players in their car? She goes, I don't know. I go, I don't know. She's like, well, the people you work with are a little bit older than me, so they probably have one somewhere. So if you guys don't have CDs, just scan the QR code. You guys can download that. Do it from your laptop or your desktop, because it's a WeTransfer file. I don't know how to do that, okay? So next one obviously is your list. Your list is your inventory. I'm gonna be talking about that, so I'm just gonna touch on this. Take time with your new planners to make sure that you, make sure they have made their list, right? Your list, when you have a list, you're gonna 10x your chance of becoming a senior manager. Okay, like if you look at the people that become senior managers and you ask them how many of them have lists, and then you're just gonna find out that the people that hit senior manager, boom, all have lists. So when you sit down with new people and you give them a blank list and say, fill it out, probably not gonna happen. But if you sit down with them and help them by flipping over the back of it and going through, basically, who do you know that's a network, go through the NC Dart with them, reading things off, stimulating the things, you help them put together a big list, right? That's what I do with my brand new people. So here we go. Okay, now we're gonna talk about what? Recruiting. This is something that's super important to realize. Some of you team leaders and higher were on the call 2 months ago when Danny went over the recruiting pipeline. I'm gonna go over it with everybody today, but master the recruiting pipeline, okay? So first off is this, the 5 most common methods to network. Number 1's warm market, okay? For your notes, warm market networking, right? The most effective method, right? That's by far the most effective method, okay? Obviously we know that, okay? Warm market referrals, right? When somebody says no, you say what? You say next, but you also say, hey, you know what? Who do you know? Some of your best recruits will come from referrals. Make sure when you present the opportunity to somebody, if they don't sign up for the opportunity, get them as a customer. I call it recruiting to retail. You can retail to recruit or recruit to retail. When you retail to recruit, that means you get somebody as a customer first, then try to backdoor them later on with the opportunity. The problem with that, let me explain to you guys the problem with that. People will duplicate what you do. So when you bring them in is how you bring them up. You understand? How you bring somebody in is how you bring them up in network marketing. So if I retail you, then try to recruit you, when they get started, they're going to do the same thing. Your organization is going to grow slow. Do you guys understand? I'm not saying it's wrong. A lot of people do it. My organization, I've got tons of people that retail to recruit, but they're going to grow slower. Okay, if you start with the opportunity, then if they say no to the opportunity, at least they're going to say yes to the what? Products. Okay, so warm market referrals, always get referrals. Then WYPP, right? Work your people's people. Okay, WYPP, work your people's people. That's a big one. What does that mean? When you recruit somebody, what do they have? A warm market list. Go after it, okay? Attack a center of influence. I'm gonna be training on that. Social media, online marketing, okay? And then I'm gonna be training that week 12. And then obviously, cold marketing, 3-foot rule, okay? And I'll do a little bit of that today. But basically, I'm gonna spend most of the time on warm market referrals and WIPP, because that's the most effective. So let's talk a little bit about it, okay? For your notes, KISS, keep it super simple, right? Master the basics, okay? Here goes the recruiting pipeline. Number 1 is a connection card orientation, right? Making a list. What am I saying by step number 1? Brand new person gets started, what's the first thing we do? You gotta know, you gotta know. Even if you're brand new, you gotta know this stuff. Because if you get somebody started and you're like, what do I do now? It's like, there's a pretty good chance that they're not going to have a ton of success, right? So first thing we do, a connection call basically is just getting together with your upline team leader and basically getting connected with them. Okay, in our compensation plan, the team leaders get rewarded a lot of money to make sure new people get launched properly. Okay, if your team leader's not too active, then don't worry about that. Just jump on orientations. Okay, orientations will do the same thing. We do those every Tuesday night. List obviously is the word that you're looking for there. Now, once you do that, what do? What's a launch meeting? Basically, it's launching somebody's business for them. Okay, like a grand opening. Sometimes we used to call them, right? A launch meeting. Basically, you can do that on a Zoom or you can do a K pop-up, depending on where they are. What I do is I have a K pop-up with them, but I jump on a Zoom if they're far away. Most of my recruits are not in Southern California, okay? Most of my obviously most of my organizations are not in Southern California, okay? So what I do is I do pop-ups on Zoom. Super simple. They teach them how to put it together, grab a bunch of people, throw them in your living room, and then I'll show up on a Zoom, boom. Done, right? Super simple, okay? And now, why do I say 24 to 48 hours for the fast track? I'm gonna talk about this in launching, when I talk about launching brand new people, okay? In a couple weeks, I talk about this, but you need to know what track people are on. If somebody wants to be on a fast track, means they wanna make a lot of money quick, what do we gotta do? We gotta take action fast. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Somebody's like, I wanna make a lot of money. All right, cool, well then have a pop-up in 2 months. Dude, you basically just, you're prescribing the wrong thing. You got to make sure you have a prescription for what they need. So if somebody wants to, like you said, tomorrow is exactly it, right? Somebody's like, next 24 hours is the word that we want to use there. So step number 3, right? Attract and attack. Attract and attack. Some people do attraction marketing. Oh my goodness. That's fine. But if you're not doing if you're not attacking too, you're leaving most of the money on your table. If I put out on Facebook a bunch of posts saying, hey, call me if you're interested, I'm not going to get a ton of people. Why? Because it's going to take a long time, and I got to catch somebody at the perfect timing. So I don't do that. What I do is I attack people. Do you understand? I don't attract, I attack. I reach out to them. You're not physically. Don't worry. I'm not. I'm not doing any. I'm not doing any attacking like that. But I'm having a forward-leaning motion going after them. Right. Step number 4 is pre-talk inform. I'm going to talk about this when I talk about leadership. I'm going to train you in great detail on this. I'll also talk about it next week when we talk about overcoming objections and closing, because pre-talk is so important. What do you say before a presentation? When you're driving somebody in a car to a pop-up, or you're driving somebody in a car to a one-on-one or whatever, what are you saying to them? If you say the right stuff, you can get somebody really interested, okay? We're going to train on that, okay? That's basically finding out their hot buttons. Now for your notes, right? Then obviously an exposure, right? K pop-up, Zoom. The same thing. Anytime you're sharing somebody a Riman, it's called a K pop-up. Okay, that's the language we use, okay? Anytime you talk to somebody about Riman, it's a K pop-up. You understand? Whether it's a one-on-one on a Zoom or whatever. I do one-on-ones all day long on Zoom. And then I roll them into whatever's going on that night. You guys see that? And then obviously step number 6, everybody knows, closing and overcoming objections. You guys, when I teach you this next week, you literally, it's probably the thing that will have the greatest impact in your business. It's funny because the lady that taught me how to close in 1996, she was at our last convention because her friend Sarah, who became a senior director, who Chris and I sponsored, her best friend is the girl that mentored me on how to close. So she came to the event. I just told her, I said, dude, I remember going to your first training and you're like, let me see your credit card. And I'm like, what? What? Ain't no way I'm doing that. That's crazy. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, hey, let me see your credit card. I was like, dude, I go, you were good. Oh, God. Closing and overcoming objections, all right? It's a lot easier for women to do that than men, right? Let me see your credit card. My wife does that to me all the time. Go get your credit card, Tim. Number 7, enroll and receive payment. Okay, that's a part of overcoming objections. Closing, you still got to, then you got to follow through and receive payment. Do something called a post-close there too, but I didn't put that in there. Plug into the daily Zooms once you get them signed up. First 4 weeks are very important to get them connected on the Zooms. We talked about this in promoting events. Remember that. If you haven't been to that module yet, you're going to love it. It's going to be coming back around. And then obviously create a senior manager and graduate from the university. The whole reason why you recruit people is to get them to graduate from the university. You guys got to realize if you can, this thing is like basically a leadership development factory. Okay, getting people to come to this university. Everybody throughout the nation is like, I got to get people in Southern California. I got to get people in Southern California. Where's my new lady at? Your sponsor's from Puerto Rico, huh? Puerto Rico! I'm like, dang. I don't know where that is, but it sounds far. I'm like, dang. Find it on a map. Not going to happen, right? Not happening, right? I know the states, but the what are those called? The territories? I don't know where they are, right? I'm like, what? Guam? I don't even know if it's big enough to be on a map. So we're getting rich. Anyways, now let's talk about making your list, okay? Hopefully, did you guys get all those? Okay, here we go. 6 reminders when constructing your list, right? Never prejudge. The people you think will, won't, and the ones you think won't, will. Do not prejudge. If you would have met me when I first got started in this profession, you would have not recruited me. You would have prejudged me 100%. 100%, okay? Recruit up. Recruit up. NC DART, right? Networkers, credibility, desire, attitude, resources, teachability. We talk about it all the time when making your list. You want to find people better than you, okay? And I'm going to talk about how to do that today. It's called scales of influence. We're going to train on that. I know some of you guys have never seen this stuff. I think Travis is probably the only guy here today. Tony, oh yeah, you've been through the university before. But some of this stuff's new. Bigger is better, right? My wife always says, size matters. I'm like, don't say that, dude. Don't say that, man. Making me feel terrible. Bigger's better, right? The bigger your list, the more posture you have, right? The bigger your list, the more posture you have, right? Riman is a contact sport. The more people you contact, the more money you're going to make. Contact people, okay? Contact people. And then obviously number 4, show your team your list, right? Because your team's going to duplicate what you do, right? Your team's going to duplicate what you do. So like whenever I'm sitting down with a brand new person making their list, helping them make their list, I'm showing them my list. You understand? If I'm jumping on a Zoom and I sponsor somebody far away, I'm showing them my list and showing them, hey, look, you're right there. Put people on your list. One of the first people that I helped become wealthy in network marketing back in '96, when I got him started, he was like the first guy that ran with me. I was like, before you find your first person that's running with you, you're kind of like in a boat with one oar, just going in circles. And then you find that guy and you're like moving somewhere, right? And I got him started. I'm not going to say his name because some of you know him. But he was like, when I first got him started, I'm like, boom, make a list. And he's making his list like, I don't know that many people. I'm like, bro, you know way more people than me. I go, you were 98 on my list. What number would I have been on your list? He goes, I wouldn't have put you on the list. I said, exactly. I go, you were 98. I showed him. My list was so beat up. It had like, one time I ate wiener schnitzel. You guys remember the chili cheese fries? I dropped the chili cheese fry on the middle of my list and I like just wiped it off. My stuff was so beat up. Funny. Okay, show your list, your team, right? Number 5 is what? Grow your list. Commit to growing your list daily. Add people to your list all the time. Best way to do that is what? Number 6, get referrals. Your best people will come from referrals. I can't stress this enough. Your best people will come from referrals. Because people know people. Whenever you talk to somebody, they know somebody that's either done something like this before or somebody that would just really be open-minded to this. And if you can find out those top 1 or 2 people, and I just tell them, I say, look, imagine what kind of a friend you would be if they linked up with me and they became successful and they become wealthy. And you're like, dude, I did that. I set that up. That would be huge, right? And then once I sign them up, then I just tell them, I say, look, I got your friend in. I just wanted to make sure you don't want to grab a position. I would just grab a spot just in case they blow up. Because if I help them make a lot of money, just through the unilevel, you can make a substantial amount of income. Right? I've got a senior manager in my organization who overrides director, team leader, director. And her 4th director on her 4th level as a senior manager is a lady named Kim Weimer, who does usually about 100 to 200,000 a month in personal sales. Used to do 100, now it's about 200,000 a month in personal sales. Not bad to get 3% of that. Would you agree? I'd go team leader though. That's what I told her. I go, Lindsay, look, I would go team leader. I go, just that matching bonus, woo, on K-Twig would be huge. Oh my God. Her group does over $1 million in volume as a senior manager. Woo, man, I love that group. Okay, here we go. Grow your list, commit, obviously get referrals, but you never know who you know. You never know who you know. That's the thing about it. That's why it's so fun, because you can't judge the heart of your people. When you make a list of people, you have no idea. My list was a bunch of 17-year-old kids. 2 of them became millionaires with me. What does that tell you? If we could do it, imagine your list. Your list is way better than mine. But if you don't make it, how's that going to help you? Common sense, right? Let's go. Mastering the recruiting pipeline. I love this stuff. Okay, let's get into it. Circle of influence, circle of concern. This is for your notes, right? Attack a circle of influence. Okay, who's in your circle of influence? Close family and friends, okay? People you influence, the I love you and I owe you group. That's what I call them, the I love you and I owe you group. That's usually about 10 or 20 people. Fastest people that you should talk to. And I know somebody like, oh, I'm scared. Okay, don't worry about that. I'm going to completely remove that objection using excerpts. That's the word from your first year network marketing. Okay, chapter 5. We're going to be talking about it. Okay, who's in your circle of concern? Distant relatives and friends, people you know by facial recognition or social media, former coworkers, stuff like that. People that you know that you haven't talked to for 10, 20, 30 years. Okay. Super important because they're going to have their own circle of influence. So when you get started, you got to learn how to, when somebody gets started, help them tap into their circle of influence. Because that's how you sign up 10 people real quick. 5 or 10 people, pop, just like that. Somebody gets started, let's go attack their center of influence, pop, 5 or 10 people real quick. And get people from different circles of concerns of yours, they're going to have their own circle of influence. That's how you grow it massively fast, okay? Who do you know, right? Who do you know? So that's for your notes on circle of influence. Let's get into this, okay? Because I'm really excited about this. This is called human behavior, okay? Identify your level and the level of your prospect, okay? You're looking for the lookers. You guys remember that? You're looking for the lookers. You're looking for the lookers, right? You're looking for the people that are looking for you, okay? Professionals sort, amateurs convince. And always remember that every dud knows a stud. Every dud knows a stud. And if you're a dud that knows a couple studs, then you automatically become a stud. Okay, so 3% of the people, this on the next side of your notes, 3% are motivators. 3% of people are motivators, right? I call them the chargers. Not talking about San Diego Chargers, right? They're not doing well. I'm talking about they charge people up. They charge people up. Okay, 10% of the people are self-motivated. Okay, 10% of the people are self-motivated. They're motivated by themselves. You don't have to pump them up. They're already pumped up. They're like solar powered or something. You know what I mean? And then 60% of the people are motivatable. You can get them fired up. You can get them fired up, right? Get them pumped. They can go on a run. Okay? And then obviously 27% of the people are unmotivatable. You guys know what I mean? We know a few of those people. They're like, university? Thursday? 12 of them? 12? Oh, man. 12's a lot. I'm going to go to 12 to get wealthy? What? You know what I mean? Those are your 27%ers right there. Hey, but every dud knows a stud, right? So we all know people like this, okay? We all know people. And sometimes you don't know. Like you would have never thought that I was a motivator. You would have never thought that. And I probably wasn't when I first started. I was probably motivatable. I would always sit in the front row, take as much notes as possible. And then for the first 6 months, I would ready, aim. No firing. And then once I made a decision, you couldn't stop me from firing. I was like, oh, teach me how to aim, right? I was just going. So understand that where somebody is right now, don't look at them and say, okay, they're motivatable, they're unmotivatable, they're self-motivated. You don't know. You don't know where somebody's at in their life because you don't know what's in their heart. Somebody could just turn it on all of a sudden and boom, enough desire, like Jim Rohn says, to last a lifetime, okay? So this is just for your notes, okay? So let's talk a little bit about it. This is understanding the scales of influence, okay? This is when to use the direct approach or indirect approach, okay? This is based on a prospect's perspective of you. This is a prospect's perspective of you, okay? So whenever somebody, if you just thought of yourself and say people that are at your same situation, let's say that you're a 5. That would be, everybody's, I'm a 5, you're a 5, we're all 5s, okay? The 5, those are the people that are in my same, like, sphere of influence. They're just like me, okay? Then there's the 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s that look up to you, right? We all got 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s that look up to us. And then you got 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s, and 10s that you look up to. Do you guys see that? So when you recruit people, you want to use a direct or indirect approach. When you're recruiting up, when you're recruiting somebody better than you, it's always better to use what I found, an indirect approach. And I've actually got that information for you today. I'm going to give it to you. So that's going to be fun. So one thing that we always use, I always use now is because I didn't use this back 30 years ago, because we didn't have text messaging. But I learned this from Chris Kim. Chris is the master of the text to tee up. When we were building, he was living in Korea for 3 years when we built the last business together. And I was living in America, and anytime he would come back to America, he'd be like, hey, I land at 10 o'clock. I could be to your house by probably, I got global entry, so I'll be at your house at like 11:30. Man, I got something really important to talk to you about, but I can't talk about it now. I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait. And then all of a sudden I'd be outside pacing around. Where's he at, man? All of a sudden, oh, I'm here. I'm like, well, what do we need to talk about? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dang, dude, you got me. And he would do that every 2 or 3 months when he would come back to the States. I'm like, bro, you keep doing that. And I thought, man, we should probably teach that to people. We should start doing that too to recruit people. So I use that, right? I got some really good news. All right, I got some great news. And use your own words. You don't have to bust it all in one text message. I can say, hey, I got some really great news, and just chill, wait for them to respond, right? I'm busy right now, but we need to talk, okay? What time's good for you tonight? Boom, jump on a 3-way call, jump on a call with them, bam. So what happens when you use the text to tee up is you stimulate curiosity, you create urgency, and you will build anticipation. We want to build anticipation. You want to create curiosity. You want to stimulate curiosity, right? You want them to obviously have urgency. I want to find out what it is. You want people to be, oh, I can't wait, right? So I learned that. I got great news from that Mark Victor Hansen training that I told you about, that I went to whenever Jim Rohn recorded that video, audio that I gave you guys. First year network marketing. That audio was created at the Disneyland Hotel, and him and Mark Victor Hansen did a training together. And I did not know who Mark Victor Hansen was. This is right when Chicken Poop for the Soul came out. He probably has a Chicken Poop for the Soul. No, he's got a book for everything you can imagine. And he was over there just, you gotta buy a box of books, you gotta buy. I'm like, who is this guy? This guy's slinging boxes of books over here. I was like, this guy's sleazy, dude. Bring Jim back. But the one thing he taught me was I got great news. He's like, that's how I got this book published. He goes, I was just call publishers and I would tell them, hey, I got great news. And the guy that ended up publishing the book, he said, if you wouldn't have said great news, I wouldn't have called you back. Because I had 20 messages on my answer machine. Didn't call any of them back except for you. I was like, ooh, that was worth me listening to this guy try to sell me a box of books. I'm like, I'm using that. Because back in the days, we had to get people to call us back. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, you'd have to leave a really good voice message in order to get a call back. Nowadays, you got to learn how to give a good text message. So that's how I use the text to tee up. Works every time. Now, here's the indirect approach. I'm giving you an example. It's in your notes too, so you don't have to write it all down. But people that you look up to, okay? So up is in your notes, okay? But here's what it is. You know how much I looked up to you, right? And if I'm talking to an esthetician, it's like, look, I respect you more than anything when it comes to skincare. I mean, you know way more than I do. I don't just bust it out like this. I'm over the top with stuff, okay? But this is just kind of a guidepost, right? You know how much I look up to you. I'm taking a look at a business, but before I commit much time to it, I wanted to get your input to tell me if you think it's a good idea for me to commit much time to it. Okay, I don't think there should be a question mark there. But anyways, what's your schedule look like the next 24 hours? Top on a quick Zoom and take a look at this thing for me. Do you guys see that? You're asking them for your help. So when I recruit somebody that's higher than me, it's like, look, I'm looking at this business, but before I do, and I've recruited a lot of people, you guys, that are way higher influence than I am in Riman. You guys got to realize that, okay? A lot. Like, you guys got to realize, you guys know how big, like, Larry and Taylor Thompson are in our profession in network marketing? They're bigger than anybody that there is. Larry's the biggest living legend in network marketing. He built a company called Herbalife. He owned it. Herbalife's huge, okay? Over $3 billion a year company. When he sold his interest to that company, he sold his shares, and he started a company called PM International, another $3 billion a year company. Now you're talking about out of the top 5 companies, 2 of them he built. Pretty safe to say he's way out of my league. So how'd I get him? When I got introduced to him by a friend, I just started crying. I'm telling you guys, this is God truth. I swear on my life. I go, man, I start crying. I said, this is the biggest honor of my life. I go, I can't believe I'm actually talking to you. I go, you have no idea who I am. I go, but everybody that mentored me in this profession over the last 30 years, at some point was mentored by you. And I've heard stories about you nonstop. And I go, do you remember Larry Huff? Do you remember Jerry Ball? I go, these were the guys that mentored me. I go, I'd hear stories about you all the time. I go, I can't believe I'm actually talking to you right now. And I'm crying, whole time. And he's like, his wife's like, dang, this guy's cool. I'm like, man, hey, I go, Yeah, I'd love to send you some products just to give you guys his input on them, right? I'd love to send you some products just to get some feedback on it. I go, nobody knows anything better than you. Like, you know everything. Boom. Then it led to flying out here, meeting with the owners, and they were in town looking at this building. You guys understand? It was not like, hey, come follow me. It was like, dude, there's no way. I'm trying to find out what you know. I'm not trying to tell you what I know. Do you understand that? They're way bigger than I am. Another person that I have in my organization that is in another company making, tons of money. And they're under the cover here. Like, nobody knows their name. I mean, some of you guys have met him before. But I mean, he's the biggest guy in the world. He's a mentor of mine. He's a mentor of mine. And me and Chris always go to his house just to pick his brain. And we'll drive 2 hours to Woodland Hills just to sit there for 30 minutes of his time. He'll be doing tons of stuff, and they'll sit there, what do you guys want? We're like, hey, we just want to give you these products, and I don't want to talk about it. But we got his wife fired up about the product. So you just got to realize the people that you don't talk to I'm not afraid to get rejected. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not afraid of a no. Like, ooh, oh no, I got rejected. Like, who cares? You understand what I mean? Like, the thing about it is this. I'm in Riman. There's no debating that, okay? I'm not going to not be in Riman. I'm in Riman. So I'm going to be in this company. Might as well let everybody know, because they're going to find out anyways. You guys get what I mean? It's like everybody's going to find out I'm doing this. Like, think about it. If you knew without a shadow of a doubt in your mind you were going to become a national director with Riman, you knew that was going to happen 100%. Why would you not want to tell people about that you're in this thing? The only reason why you don't want to talk to people is because you have doubt. There's no doubt. You can't follow the system and not become successful. You guys got to realize I'm saving you 30 years of doing it wrong. So that's how you get people that you look up to. Now, here's how I get peers. Right? I know times are going really well for you right now. Like, I always start off with, I know you're doing really well right now. I love that line, right? Kind of compliment them on where they are in life. I say, but the reason why I'm calling you is I got really lucky. Perfect language here, lucky, okay? I just started working with a successful business person who's launching a new project in our area. I know you're doing well, but they asked me if I knew a couple people that might be interested in making some serious money. They can help you make a few thousand extra a month, and it didn't interfere with what you got going on right now. Would you want to find out more? Like, dude, all day long. Like, that's a slam dunk, okay? That's how I talk to people on the same level as me. I didn't talk nothing about skincare. Didn't talk nothing about K-beauty. I didn't talk nothing about nothing. All I did was edify somebody else. Why? Why do I do that? Let me tell you why. If I talk about Riman to her, what's she going to do? She's going to research it herself. Right. And what's she going to do? She's going to come up with a preconceived idea of what it's all about. Right. If I talk about K-beauty to Simpson over here, he might be like, what is K-beauty? I don't know about no lotion. Do you understand what I'm saying? But somebody can't talk, you can't make a decision about somebody until you meet them. You understand what I'm saying? So if I'm edifying, if I'm working with Kathy, say Kathy's my sponsor, I'm like, look, I got to introduce this successful business lady I'm working with. She right now has got a big project working on in our area. She knows 100% of the information, but I think we can make some serious money with her. Now, what is Kathy up to? Well, you can't research Kathy until you meet her. Do you guys get what I'm saying? I'm trying to stimulate curiosity. Right now, we live in this information age where everybody's trying to figure out everything out. And why they're trying to do that is to figure out a reason not to take a look at it. So I keep it very vague, right? It's not because I'm hiding something. You understand that? I'm not trying to hide that it's K-beauty. It's not like they're going to join Riman and be like, oh, it's K-beauty. I had no idea. But I'm not going to be like, if I'm calling up Josh saying, hey, Josh, my little sister's, I don't even have a little sister, but I'm just saying, if I say, hey, my little sister's single, man, you got to meet my little sister. I think you and her would be great together. And he's like, oh, what's a picture? And I just show a picture of an elbow. He might be like, what the hell? That's not enough information. Do you guys get what I'm saying? You see what I mean? So I'm not going to give them anything until I give them everything. Do you guys get that? So here's the people that look up to you. Do you trust me? This is how I started this one out. These people that look up to me. Do you trust me? It's like, look, I think I might have found a way to make some serious money, for us to make some serious money together. Now, why do I say I think I might? The reason why I say I think I might is because I want them to, I'm jumping on their side. I think I might. Let's go find out what it's all about. Do you guys get that? But if I say I know I found a way to make a lot of money, then they're going to tell me what it's all about. Right. Do you guys see that? That's the psychology behind why I say that, right? I think I might have found a way for us to make some serious money together. I think we need to find out more information to see what it's all about. When do you have time to connect on a Zoom this afternoon or this evening, what's better for you, right? Can I count on you not to make me look bad? That's a tie down, okay? Can I count on you not to make me look bad? I'll get you the information as soon as you can be on. But make sure, like I said, don't make me look bad. I'll text you before to let you know when we can connect. You see what I'm saying? These are people that look up to me. It's a lot easier, right? But you don't want to just go after those people. You want to go after the people that you look up to, because their markets are going to be huge. Do you guys see that? That's what they taught me when I first got started. I love that. So now let's talk about turn-off words versus perfect language. You guys are going to love this stuff. You're going to love this stuff. Okay, boom. Meeting, seminar, presentation. Do you guys get that? What was that sound? That's disgusting, right? Don't say that. Instead, say sit down with. When can you sit down? When can you sit down on the Zoom with a friend of mine? Do you guys see that? That's a lot more exclusive, isn't it? This is just common sense stuff, right? Next one is upline, downline, sponsor. Jeez, don't even say that stuff. Sponsor sounds like we're at an AA meeting. You guys know what I'm talking about? You guys ever heard of that? Team, business partner, things like that, okay? So I'm just going to put them up there so you guys can get the notes. Oh, look at that. That one's backwards. Okay, here we go. Joined, involved. Joined just seems like you know those, like the people that are born stuck together, like joined together. It like kind of conjures up. Joined, what is that? Like that just sounds weird. Involved, that just sounds, I don't even like that. Instead, I started working with. Do you guys see that? Started working with sounds normal. A lot of what you're trying to do is just sound normal, which a lot of people in direct sales don't know how to do. Opportunity. I use opportunity as a verb, but not as a noun. You guys see the difference? So I can use, like, using opportunity as a verb is not a big deal. Like an opportunity to meet with somebody. But I don't like to use, hey, I just got an opportunity. That sounds so cheesy. Like it sounds like I'm gonna pull out like a Flowbee. You guys remember the Flowbee? I just got this opportunity, this haircut system, the Flowbee. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about. You gotta go watch Wayne's World, right? Anyways, I got lucky. Everybody wants to get lucky. Would you agree with that? I used to just meet with people. I would go, because I never smiled, because my life was terrible, right? When I got involved in network marketing, nobody ever seen me actually smile. I was always just mad dogging everybody. And I remember I went to a party and I was just smiling the whole time. And everybody's like, what's up with you, bro? I'm like, dude, I just got lucky. And they're like, what? Tell me about it, right? I'm like, no, bro, not like that. Look, don't tell anybody, but my brother-in-law hooked me up. I always hype in this company. He just hooked me up. I'll try to get you in. I don't know what I can do. If I can, I will. What? That's how I got everybody involved. I got, out of 450 people in my high school class, they graduated, 250 of them got started in business with me. It was like everybody was in. Everybody. It was like what? You haven't joined yet? Wrong. You gotten started yet? So tell you. Don't say tell you. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you this. People don't like to be told stuff, but they love to be shared. Let me share this with you. You guys see the difference? It's kind of the image and it conjures up. Tomorrow, don't say tomorrow, say next 24 hours. I learned that from Robert Kiyosaki. He says tomorrow is the most, he goes, poor people use that word the most. That's their favorite word to use. Tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. So I like to say next 24 hours. The next 24 hours. It seems more urgent, doesn't it? If I say to you tomorrow's like, oh yeah, it's tomorrow. That means we don't have to ever worry about it. Because tomorrow we just say tomorrow again. We just keep saying tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. But next 24 hours seems more urgent. You guys see that? Sounds like, oh dang, something's going on. 24 hours, we got to meet, right? So I just like to say that. I don't like to. That's super simple. So this turn off words, perfect language, some stuff that I was taught. Now, obviously everybody knows our goal is to build a solid director foundation. Okay, our goal is to have 10 different legs that graduate from the university. So if you have 10 different legs that graduate from the university, you're going to set yourself up to have 10 different team leaders, okay? Now, listen, look, that ain't easy. You understand that? That means you have to talk to a lot of people, okay? But it's impossible not to have happen as long as you don't stop. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Don't stop. You'll get it done, okay? So you go wide for profitability, you build depth for stability, okay? For your notes, you only need 3 legs of team leaders to hit the structure for director, but you never want to make your minimums your maximums. This is the secret to our success. This is the secret to our success. Like people ask me, it's like, how in the heck did you guys come in here? The people that were here before me, like, how did you do all that? Because I'm not doing the 3. You understand? I'm not doing 3, and I'm not teaching 3. I teach 10. If you ask somebody for 10, guess what they'll get you? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, right? If you ask somebody for 3, guess what they'll get you? 3, 2, 1, 0. But they ain't gonna get you 10 if you ask them for 3. It's just, this, my mentor taught me this 30 years ago. So don't ask people for what you don't want, ask them for what you do want. So we want to build that solid foundation and get 10 people to graduate from this university, okay? So here's the most important thing to remember when it comes to the recruiting pipeline. Edification is everything. Edification is everything, okay? Edification reminders. Trust plus respect equals success, okay? Trust plus respect equals success, okay? Always remember the higher edification created, the higher the influence will be. So I'm going to explain it to you guys really well, okay? As a leader, here's number 3. As a leader, I had to add this. As a leader, never buy into edification. When I watch leaders buy into edification, I just die laughing. Because it's like, who in the world do I care what somebody thinks of me? You understand? Like, what most important thing is what? Like, it's not like whether some stranger, my mentor told me, he said, when a stranger loves and respects you more than the people that know you the most do, you're in trouble. So when the people that know you the most respect you the least, and the people that know you the least respect you the most, that's a recipe for failure. Do you guys see that? So what matters is the people that are close to me, right? Which is my wife, my inner circle, right? You. And your prospects all have what? Trust. Think about it. I'm a 17-year-old high school student. I'm not smart. I'm bad in school. I'm usually not sober at school. Everybody see me pass out in the bushes many times, okay? If somebody wants to get a keg, I'm the person that they call, right? That was the guy. I was the troublemaker, okay? But everybody trusts me, but they didn't respect me. Now, some of you are like, well, no, that's not me, Tim. You got to understand, everybody respects me. In some things, but not in, maybe in network marketing, maybe not in skincare. You guys get what I'm saying? So you want to use third-party credibility. So you create edification for an expert. That's all I do. When Danny Bay's speaking, why do you think I'm on the edge of my chair taking notes? I told him this today. I was like, Danny, like, I want to go to the Mexico event, just sit in the front row. So everybody in Mexico that's in my organization can watch me just take notes from you. Because why? Because if they're going, whoa, look at how he's doing it. You understand? People don't want to follow somebody that isn't following somebody else. Do you understand what I mean? It's like, what are you doing? I'm off-roading it. Like, I don't want to, like, if somebody's off-roading it, I'm not going to follow them. It's like, hey, let's go to Vegas. I'm going to off-road it. Like, what? What? We're going to just make our own trails? No. I want to follow a proven plan of action, right? So you always want to make sure you understand edification isn't just the good things you say about somebody to create the influence. It's also the way that you operate. The way that you operate. Like, there's people in Southern California that I work with that are not here. Don't ask me for help. Don't call me and ask me to do a damn call for you. What in the heck are you thinking? Can you do a call for me? You're not even willing to help yourself. If somebody won't participate in their own rescue, how in the world do they think I'm going to help them? But you think if Michelle calls me and says, hey, Tim, can you do me a favor and do a call for me? You think I'm going to say yes? Of course. Because she's always here. I know I can bet on her. I can bet on the people that are what? It's like picking a unicorn. We got unicorns. Anybody that's here is a unicorn. It's like, bet on a unicorn. They're going to win the race. Don't bet on the horse. Do you guys get what I'm saying? You want to make sure, and that's how you do it. That's how I operate. It's like if Danny Bay's doing a call, and I'm not on the call, and I'm not taking massive notes, somebody needs to call the hospital. Call the hospital. Tim's video camera is not on, his Zoom is not on, and Tim's not there taking notes. Somebody better call the hospital. Something's going on. There's no way I'm going to miss a call. Why? Because I like making money. Do you guys see that? Right? I like making money. So in order to do that, what do I got to do? I got to lead by example. I got to show my people what becoming successful looks like. Learning and growing is how you win. It's a no-brainer. Okay, so let's get into this. This is the one you're going to love, okay? And then I'm going to get into body language. You guys are going to love body language. I could read body language all night long. I could just go through the room and tell you what you guys are thinking. Module number 8, okay, here we go. Recruiting. Chapter 5, this is chapter 5 out of your first year network marketing. We're going to be raffling off 4 of those tonight. Okay, good. They're attacking the warm market warhead. What does that mean? Let's talk about it, okay? This is attacking the warm market warhead. This is 11 ways to overcome your reluctancy to offer a better quality of lifestyle to your family and friends by Mark Yarnell. Some of these are hilarious. I like Mark Yarnell's sense of humor, okay? Don't buy the excuse new distributors use in order to avoid approaching their warm markets. When I talk about next week, when we go over overcoming objections, you guys got to understand that overcoming objections is not just something you do with a brand new person that you're presenting to. It's something you do with leaders that you get started. Do you guys get that? Like, overcoming objections never stops. Do you guys understand? You're going to love it, okay? So this for your notes. If you let your doubt stand in your way of your business, you're guaranteed to fail. But if you go forward and persevere, you will succeed. This is straight Mark Yarnell talking about this, not me. Think about what Mark Yarnell says. Move past your comfort zone and offer everyone on your warm market list an opportunity, especially those that you feel are already too successful to consider doing this business. People that are successful, they see it faster than somebody that's rubbing two nickels together. Do you understand that? Mainly how you talk to them. And I'm going to talk about that in leadership, on how to present to people. When I present to people and I'm talking to somebody, I'm talking to them like they're bigger than I am. Because nobody rises to low expectations, okay? So watch this. Number 4 is what? Never qualify your prospects. That's huge. That means what? To decide in advance that a person is too important to approach or that a person is too inadequate to succeed. It's economic suicide in our business. Like, prejudging is wild. Is that thing blinking for a reason?
Low battery.
Okay. How much time does it say left? Okay, but I also can put a new battery in too. Okay, so here it is. We talked about economic suicide. How do you do that? Qualify people. That'll get you economic suicide. Number 5 is what? Connect with all the people on your follow-up list every 6 months until they sign up or die. I love that line. Mark Yarnell's hilarious. I'm like, that's so good. That is so good. Every 6 months until they sign up or die. Those are the 2 options. How good is that? Dude, that is awesome. That is a good way to drive home a point though, right? It's like, okay. Every 6 months. Do you know where their battery is? They're in there if you want to change it. Oh yeah. Here's what I'm going to tell you about this. A lot of my top directors didn't get started right away. Okay? A lot of them didn't. Your guys upline Kai, we talked to him right from the beginning, and it took him until what? 6 months to get involved? His work with Christy Bellison took her 6 months to get involved. Robert Nahn took him 6 months to get involved, senior director. A lot of our top ones that we recruited didn't get involved right away. You guys see that? Some of your top prospects, just turn it off. Turn off the power. And you can just change the battery real quick on the back. There's a little flip. You might have to undo it first. But anyways, here's what I want to share with you guys, okay? Sometimes it takes people a little bit of time. But all you got to do is what? Make a lot of money. Just go for it. Don't put like, oh my God, if Kathy joins, we're all going to get rich. Like that doesn't make any sense. Don't ever think like that. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, if so-and-so comes in, we're all going to get rich. Don't think like that. That's silly. Okay? People are joining because of you, right? And the more success that you have, the more people you're going to attract. Okay? The more people you're going to attract. So don't hesitate. If you get started, talk to everybody. And then 6 months later, come back and do what? Talk to them again. And then 6 months later, what? Talk to them again. And keep doing that until they sign up, not until they die. Well, sign up or die, right? Oh my God. I love that. We want them to sign up. That's why I underline sign up. If I put die, I mean, I want you guys to write down die. Begin with the warm market list is the best because approaching your friends and relatives is much easier than approaching strangers. Did you guys catch that? Think about what I'm saying. Begin with your warm market, okay? It's the best because approaching friends and relatives is much easier than approaching strangers. Way easier. You guys got to realize your sign-up ratio, talking to a warm market, is going to be about 25 to 30%. You're going to get 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 3. Talking to strangers, you're going to get about 1 out of 20. You guys see that? Just talk to your family and friends. They know you're going to be doing it anyways, right? They're going to be thinking, why aren't you talking to me? Some of you are like, well, I've been doing it for a year and I'm not making much money yet. Well, that's all about to change. Do you guys see that? Think about this. None of you have been in Riman more than 8 weeks. Somebody goes, I have. No, you haven't. Because there was getting involved in Riman and getting involved in this system. There's a big difference. Before this system, it didn't really matter what you did. Because you're kind of like, just, what are we doing, right? Now it's streamlined. With this Riman University, you're streamlining everybody's success. It's impossible not to learn how to do this right now. It's not like we're jumping on a Zoom. You guys understand that? Where people aren't getting, you guys are here live learning. It's like, boom, we're blowing up. So let's talk about this real quickly. Attitude is more important than ability in network marketing. Attitude is more important than ability. That's huge. My mentor said we recruit attitudes and we teach skills. Whew. I love that. During your recruiting efforts, think of yourself as an educator more than a salesperson. How good is that? That's for your notes. Educator more than a salesperson. Let's talk about number 9. Until the presentation, your intent is to stimulate curiosity of your prospects, not satisfy it. You're trying to stimulate curiosity for people to take a look at this business. You guys see what you're doing? Stimulate curiosity for people to take a look at it. You're not trying to fact them to death. Think about, my mentor said, you can be a root digger or a fruit picker. A root digger is trying to figure out how the fruit's made. Fruit picker's enjoying the fruits. I'm trying to enjoy the fruits. I'm not trying to, you ever flip a light switch on? You ever done that? You're just like, boop, lights on. And then you're like, boop, lights off. How's that happen? You think I care? Do you guys see that? Think about it. You don't really care how it works. You just know it works. All you're trying to do is to stimulate curiosity for people to look at it so they can get 100% of the information. Number 10 is what? Focus your first 90 days on relationship marketing. That is reaching out to the people that are closest to you to extend an invitation to create a business partnership intended to enhance the quality of their lives. That's all we're doing. I'm reaching out to everybody I know to see if they're interested in participating in a better quality of lifestyle. That's it. Do you want to participate in a better quality of lifestyle? Super simple. Okay? Now, number 11, this is the most important one out of all of them. What's the most important one? Number 11. In your first year, devote almost all of your time to prospecting, setting appointments, and presenting the opportunity until you reach your desired goals, and teach your team to do the same. Year 1, get customers, get customer getters. Non-stop. How do you get customers? People that don't want to become customer getters. I always lead with the opportunity, just in case they want to do it. Because if I set them up for failure by getting them as a customer and then trying to retell them to recruit, because now they're going to try to do the same thing with people. So that's why you don't want to prejudge. Promise you have no idea. Look at everybody in this room. Everybody's different. Like, this is the most culturally diverse room in Southern California. That's what's so awesome about this. Everybody can do this. The common denominator that runs through all of us is our desire for a better quality of lifestyle. That's it. Woo, I love this. I can't wait to teach you guys this. The behavior matrix. Oh, this is gold right now. You guys remember, there's gold in them Nar Hills. That's a gold mine guy. What do they call that dude? The guy that gets the gold from the mine? Gold miner? Is that it? A miner? A gold miner. There's gold in them Nar Hills. That's what this is. This is a gold mine, right? Understand the behavior matrix. No, it is. Did I move it around? What'd I do? Yeah, it is. Oh, I didn't put behavior matrix. Don't worry about it. Okay, now forget that was there. Watch this. Don't worry, it's coming. Watch this. Formal, informal, dominant, easygoing. This is the behavior matrix right here. This was taught to me a long time ago by a gentleman. They used to train this to big Fortune 500 companies. If somebody's formal or informal, guess what that is? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, I might be dressed up, you might think I'm formal, but I'm obviously not acting formal. I just yelled, there's gold in damn Har Heels. Right? Chris Kim is formal. Danny Bay is formal. Tim Herr is informal. Do you guys understand that? Do you guys understand the difference between this? Okay? Then you got people that are dominant, people that are easygoing. Okay? Dominant, easygoing. I'll teach you how to shake somebody's hand and figure it out right from the handshake. What? Oh yeah, I'm teaching you that tonight. Dominant, easygoing, formal, informal. This section right here, these are called reds. These are sharks. These are called controllers. Don't worry, I'm gonna give it to you. This is called your blues, your dolphins, your promoters. These right here, these are your yellows. These are your wells. These are your supporters. This right here, your greens, your urchins, your analyzers. There's 3 different names, books on this stuff, so I put all 3 of them together just in case you're reading one of the books. You guys see that? But it's all the same thing, okay? So basically, sharks, urchins, dolphins, whales. I like it that way because you can figure it out. Like a shark is like a perfect situation, right? Of what a controller is. A promoter is definitely a blue, right? That's definitely a dolphin, right? You got your whales, you got your sea urchins, right? Urchins, they want to kind of, they're always just trying to acquire information. Whales, you're supportive people, the nice guys that are just like, you just love being around them. So watch this. I know so much about this stuff, I could do an entire, I've done hours and hours on this stuff before, okay? So I'm going to try to give you the basics of it. Sharks are your reds, your controllers. These are people that are money motivated, status driven, love recognition, competition oriented, walk fast, talk fast, show me the money type people. Chris Kim, Danny Bay. Complete reds. Absolute reds. Absolute reds. They love competition.